Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to look at India a little differently. We're going to peel back the layers of states and cities and get right down to the very anatomy of the subcontinent, the massive, incredible natural structures that give it its famous shape.
So, let's just start with a big question, right? When you look at a place as huge and diverse as India, what is it that really defines its shape? What carves out its unique character on the globe?
Well, the answer, it's literally written on the land itself. It's the mountains. These incredible, rugged ranges are the subcontinent's skeleton, their spine, its foundation. I mean, this is a landscape truly forged by mountains.
Okay, so to really get a grip on this anatomy, we have to break it down. And we're going to start at the very top of the country with what you can only describe as a formidable northern wall.
Just let your eyes drift up to the crown of the subcontinent here. This is not just some simple line of peaks, This is a colossal, unbelievably complex barrier of solid rock and ice. This is the system that basically seals India off from the rest of Asia, creating its own unique world, climatically and ecologically.
And this northern wall, it isn't just one thing. It's made of several distinct parts. You've got the mighty Karakoram Range, which is home to K2, the second highest peak on Earth. Just south of that, you run into the high-altitude desert of the Ladakh Range, and then the super rugged Zanskar Range. And of course, the big one, the iconic, towering peaks of the greater Himalaya. All of them together create this almost unbreakable frontier.
All right, let's travel south from those massive, relatively young mountains and head right into the heart of the country. We're going to what we can think of as India's ancient central spine.
Okay, focus your attention right on the center of the map. See how these ranges kind of slice horizontally across the land? They're not just little bumps on the landscape. They act as this really crucial geographical divider that separates the Great Northern Plains from the Deccan Plateau down south.
So what makes up this spine? Well, it all starts with the Aravalli Range, which is one of the oldest mountain systems on the entire planet. Running pretty much parallel to that are the Vindhya and Satpura Ranges. These really form the true backbone of the peninsula, with the Maikal Range branching off to the east.
And here's the wild part. These central mountains are geologically ancient. I mean, they are profoundly older than the young, jagged Himalayas we just saw. They've been worn down by literally hundreds of millions of years of wind and rain, just silently watching the subcontinent take shape all around them. It's incredible.
From that ancient heartland, our journey is now going to take us out to the edges of the peninsula. And this is where we meet the mountains that stand guard over the coasts, the coastal guardians.
Look along the western edge of India. See that long, almost unbroken chain of mountains running right alongside the Arabian Sea? That's the Western Ghats, and they are absolutely critical. They act like a giant wall that catches all the moisture from the monsoon winds, which is what creates that lush green landscape you see on the coast.
So the main Western Ghats run all the way down the coast until they meet up with the Nilgiri Hills. You might know them as the famous Blue Mountains. From there, the system keeps going south as the Anamalai Hills, where you'll find South India's highest peak, and finally, the spice-rich Cardamom Hills. Every single one of these is a world-renowned biodiversity hotspot.
All right, for our final region, we're heading to a part of the country whose identity is just completely inseparable from its rolling ranges and rugged terrain. Let's go meet the Eastern Sentinels. Let's zoom right into the far northeastern corner of the map. This whole area is just a complex, beautiful tapestry of hills and smaller mountain ranges that form the border with Myanmar. It's a completely distinct world, shaped entirely by this unique green geography. You can really see how complex this region is when you look at its different parts. You've got the Patkai Range and the Naga Hills creating that frontier with Myanmar. Then, a little bit further west, you have the Khasi and Jaintia Hills, which are famous for getting some of the highest rainfall on planet Earth. Seriously, each one of these ranges just adds to the unique character of this region.
So, after our journey from the highest peaks on Earth down to that ancient central spine and out to the lush coastal ranges, let's just pull back and see the entire picture. It's really nothing short of a tapestry made of stone.
So, looking at the full map again, I hope you can see it a little differently now. You can see the northern wall holding the subcontinent in, the central spine dividing it, the coastal guardians protecting its sides, and the eastern sentinels watching over the frontier. See, they're not just separate features, they are one interconnected system, all woven together, dictating everything from climate and rivers to culture and history.
And that leaves us with one final thought to take away from all this.
We've just looked at the anatomy, the very skeleton of this immense landmass. So the question is this: if these mountains are India's skeleton, what stories does the land itself tell? You know, what tales of life, of empires, and of nature are carved right into its very flesh? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me.